Hey all, my embryo transfer is tomorrow and I'm super excited. I'm also exhausted. I've had a failed embryo transfer before. I've got 14 medications going on. I've got injections, multiple ones, refrigerated meds, now shots in the butt, progesterone, and just pills, pills, pills. Side effects are piling up. I'm doing what my energy allows, and I just am somehow staying positive. Not rainbows painted over everything kind of positive, but I've figured something out here and I want to share that with you. It's a question that I get. It's a question that I see in Reddit. And how do you do it when a lot of people in your life don't understand? They've never been through this. You barely understand. You're trying to get answers. You're just with your clinic and whoever's supporting you, but you need some techniques here. And I just want to share that with you. One way I stay positive through IVF, no matter if it's egg retrieval time or embryo transfer, it's going to be not isolating myself and let it take over my life. So this is something that I realized, I don't know, second cycle, because the first one, I would have this tendency to look at my calendar when a friend would ask me for a plan, like, hey, we're going to spend the day in this city and we're going to do this, or, can you accompany me here? Or what do you think about celebrating this? And yeah, I would look at my calendar and think, well, that day, that is in the 2-week wait. So I don't know how I'm going to feel. I might be really depressed. Okay, so I'm planning on being depressed. I'm shutting down the whole 2-week wait. When I write, I really might need people, or, oh, that's the day before my transfer. That's the day after my transfer. And the way I've found out of that is knowing that I'm going to need people. So make the plans. That's what I'm doing. I keep saying yes to stuff, even though I might be tired, even though I might be sad like I've been before, or a new sad that I've never experienced before, because this is another try. This is another year later in my life. But I say make the plans. Put them on your calendar anyway. If really, really, really you can't do it, they'll understand, especially if they know what you're going through. Otherwise, it's your life. Cancel. But don't plan on canceling. Don't fulfill the prophecy of yourself being down. That's really letting it rule your life and deciding in advance that you're going to let your emotions rule your life. Okay. Kind of segues into number 2. So I stay positive by letting people love me. So if you watch the interview with Dr. Karen Lang, that was her message when I asked her, what would you say to someone going through IVF right now? She's like, let your people love on you, So let them know. Yeah, there are people that you're not going to want to talk about this with. I'm thinking of maybe people in my life that just are really not interested in kids, or, maybe male friends or something. But pick some people and let them know. And yeah, that means they're going to ask how your embryo transfer went, and they're going to ask too soon, or it's, but whatever. They can accept you being sad, and people love being there for you. So I say do it. Okay, another way that helps me get through this is remembering that this and the side effects of everything that goes with it is temporary. So as women, we can feel like the way we're feeling now is how we're going to feel the rest of our lives, or this is never going to end. I've been through health issues where I just think it's just going to last forever. And you can't quite see the future where you're going to be better. But if you've been through IVF cycles before, things linger, but this is going to pass. This is going to pass. So I've had to say to myself, well, for the love of God, you're on 14 medications. You went from 0 medications to 14 medications. Of course, you're going to feel like this, right? The fourth thing that helps me stay positive, or just stay afloat sometimes, is to have a plan B. Now, I mean a plan B for if this particular procedure or this cycle doesn't produce what you hoped and what you need, or if overall IVF doesn't have the end result that you spent all this money on and you did all this for. Now, this is a tough one. But for me, whenever I'm worried about something, and shout out to my husband who has said this to me specifically, but he said, let's go all the way down that corridor. And if this doesn't happen, then what? My life's not over. Can I find another way to mother? So I'm speaking now if this doesn't work out at all. Can there be another way in my life that I give and that I have purpose? I really am determined that this is for me and I am to be a mother. But should this not work out, if you believe in God, should God have another plan for you that's far beyond your understanding? Okay, I think, yeah. I don't know what it is. And if this particular cycle doesn't work out, I have a plan. I discovered an IVF consultant / coach that I'm absolutely going to call and say, hey, let's look at my protocol. You've done tons of research. Let's see what else is possible here. And for you, that could be a clinic change. It could be researching and understanding your medications a little bit more. It could be talking about just a different direction, something different to try. In my clinic, they have, add-ons, other things you could do around the time of the transfer or the retrieval. And for me, if this transfer fails, I'm going to do some retail therapy. Strangely, that works for me. I don't know what you need, but it's not like an everlasting fix, but those little pick-me-ups after this. Or maybe something that you couldn't do because of restrictions during your cycle. Indulge in something. Okay, the fifth way that I stay positive through IVF is remembering that not everything is an emergency. Have you ever seen those videos where a woman's chopping a carrot and then she remembers that life's not an emergency? This is a lot of us women, our nervous systems are caught up in something that does not relate. Okay, she drops her shoulders. She remembers, I can chop this carrot with ease. Okay, so when I'm going through my what is this medication freak out, or oh my God, it ran out, I need to order it within 2 days, this is going to ruin my whole cycle. If I start thinking that, I have to remember that every time I've contacted my clinic in a panic, there's a casual answer of like, oh, that's okay. That medication has an hour and a half leeway, or yeah, it shouldn't affect overall. Like, it's okay, Or if I had a UTI, I had an infection before an egg retrieval, and I was like, this is going to ruin everything. So it's not an emergency. We are going through something amazing and very difficult, but it's not an acute emergency. And so when your body might be telling you that, then in comes some self-talk that could be helpful from you. Number 6, focusing on the step at hand. You never know what's going to happen with your cycle. I wasn't thinking that I was going to be one of those people that had endometriosis and had like a deeper root cause of infertility. I went into this thinking that I had no fertility issues and it was going to work the first try. How many of you thought that, right? But yeah, I have learned that focusing on the step at hand is a strong way to go through this. Now I just get excited for that appointment. Okay, now I can be excited for my embryo transfer tomorrow because it didn't get canceled. I thought my LH was too high. I thought I was starting too late because we started on the 5th day with medications. Everything I do, I feel like I'm about to ruin it, but it's not the case. Okay? Okay, number 7, the 7th way that I stay positive through IVF is medication dance sessions. I am telling you, my husband and I wake up, he puts on some dance music and this, whatever you like, if you're a disco queen, if you want your worship music or any kind of EDM or whatever makes you feel good. Okay. But we need, I needed like my hype man with me. And so we turn that on and then we get out the injections, we get out the pills, we use our spreadsheet checklists to get everything through. And it's funny, okay? Because I'm not feeling that way, right? But it's this funny ritual. It's a little team playing session that helps us get through the situation. Okay, now if you don't have a partner that's going through this, Please let your friends love on you. I will take you back to number 2, where I remind you that people love you more than you think. Your friend, your family member, I bet, because we all want to serve other people. We all want to be useful. Your friend doesn't just want to meet up with you for dinner and catch up on life in a superficial way. Asking a friend to be there for you is an amazing opportunity for them. So whether you want them to come over for the first time and help you sort out your medications, great. If they're able to come over once a week, 8 a.m. and have a medication dance party with you, fantastic. If there's another way that you can get hyped up by your friend, think about it. Get creative. Let them be there for you. They would love it. The number 8 way that I stay positive about IVF is to pray and talk out loud about it. So whether God or no God is in your life, talking out loud, processing, walk around the house like a fool, speaking out loud. Talk about your fears, talk about your plans, talk to the soul of your future child. Just doing that where no one can hear you, if you have such an opportunity, or in your car, right? Take those moments to process. That will help. And I'd say the last way, the 9th way that I stay positive about IVF, knowing that nothing can prepare me for that kind of sadness. Now, I talked about I'm going to buy myself some heels, hot pink to be exact. I'm going to get an IVF coach. Yes, that's the momentum. Momentum helps me. But you have to know that when you go through those downs, and if you're watching this, you probably don't want to watch this if you're just starting IVF, because I want it to work for you the first time and you'll never have to watch a video like this. But for the rest of us that have had at least one failed thing or less than we thought, it's a feeling that has to be had. And that you cannot really prepare yourself for it. You can soften the blow in every way that I'm talking about here, but let yourself be down, okay? If that means you have to cancel something, do it for a little while. But get out of bed, and if you need help with that, you can reach out to me. All right, thanks, everyone. I know it's not all rainbows and unicorns, but you're not alone. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe if you want to be notified on what's happening next. Also, I would appreciate it very much. Look below for a link to a free packing list that I designed for anyone going to IVF in another country. Please, I promise that it'll be helpful, and I look for feedback on how have you tailored it to yourself. Another link is there to join the mailing list for IVF companions so I can keep you updated and hopefully send you an invite to our forthcoming community in Circle. Thank you.